remaining. 78 all. Double teaming now to Trayvon Tyler as he gets it right back. Up and under move and gets it to go. Wow. Right there. That is now the 1,000th point in his career. The Lynx pull out the win on the road. 77-74 here in this one. And boy, was that a show here in Davenport, Iowa. We got OT, baby, in Indiana Northwest. Give and go with Johnson to Powell yet again, and he's going to slam it home one more time. And once again, Julian Powell, basically a dunk fest here in this one.
Lincoln College basketball on 89X is made possible by Grau Chevrolet Buick, ME Realty, and by the State Bank of Lincoln.
Hi, and welcome inside Marion, Indiana, on the campus of Indiana Wesleyan University, as your Lincoln Lynx back in action here tonight and tomorrow afternoon as well. First and foremost, game number one has to come first, as they are taking on the 14th ranked Indiana University East, the Red Wolves, here in this one. And once again, it's going to be a good one. This is going to be a great weekend. It's the Indiana Wesleyan Classic. The Lynx come in 2-0 to start the year. Again, we're not really going to talk much about the last game. Did not look very comfortable and well in that ball game, but however, though, they still managed a 12-point victory against Lindenwood Belleville, a 71-59 win over there. Again, leading scorer, though, like I mentioned, Montez Crumble actually led the way, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals in that contest. And again, with all the firepower this Lynx team has, Montez Crumble is the one that comes out on top. Again, like I mentioned, not a great shooting night for that team. We're not going to get into those type of stats, but I'll just put it this way, 5% from the three-point line. I won't tell you how many they took or anything like that, but definitely going to have to improve on that from the game on Wednesday night. But if you were going to do it in a game, that would have been the game to do it in. That team was 4-26 last season, and they start 0-1 this time. But let's get to the Red Wolves here. And this one is the first game of the year for them, as, again, they're coming off a pretty good year, I should say, actually an outstanding year. That's why they're ranked 14th in the country, 26-9 last season, 15-2 in the River States Conference. That got second, actually, in the conference, lost to, again, West Virginia Tech in that one both times. And they did go to the national tournament, though. We will have more of that as we go through, but they did make the national tournament last year, and they actually lost in the quarterfinal game against Spring Arbor, the team that initially went on to win it all this past season. They lost 89-77. They do have a few returners from that national tournament run team. So, again, it'll be interesting to see how they fare. They lost their big man down low from last season, who grabbed a lot of boards for them. However, though, they still have some key shooters. I believe Bishop Smith is actually back for them. He's their leader. He's their go-to. He's their All-American honorable mention there for the Red Wolves. So we'll see him stepping up against Trayvon Tyler here tonight. And we'll see, actually, as well, if you looked on Twitter, NAIA Hoops Report actually has this as the game of the week here tonight. Again, looking for Bishop Smith and Trayvon Tyler to go head-to-head in big guard play here in this one. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have the starting lineups coming your way. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln is proud to be a sponsor this season of Lincoln College men's and women's basketball on 89X and on LCTV. Thanks to their generous support, you'll never miss a single broadcast this season as the Lynx compete in NAIA action. Grau Chevrolet Buick has served the Lincoln and surrounding area with new and used vehicles, along with a complete service department since 1953. Grau is open Monday through Friday between 8 and 7, and on Saturdays 8 to 3. Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln at 1905 North Kickapoo.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
ME Realty in Lincoln brings home buyers and sellers together in Logan County and the surrounding area. ME Realty is now at a new location at 602 Keokuk in Lincoln. You can also reach them at 217-735-5424. That's 217-735-5424. You can also reach them directly online at SethSellsLincoln.com. That's SethSellsLincoln.com. You can see all of their latest home listings at any time. ME Realty in Lincoln is proud to be involved in the Lincoln community and is a proud supporter of Lincoln College men's and women's basketball.
Welcome back inside Marion, Indiana, home of Indiana Wesleyan University. That'll be in game number 2 tomorrow afternoon, I believe at 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. our time, Eastern Time, should I say. Again, we got a pretty good one. Let's meet the starters, though, first for I believe Lincoln's actually going to be the home team on the scoreboard here. They told me earlier they were going to be away, however, so we'll meet, again, IU East, the Red Wolves, as JVU Lafayette will get things going. The junior 6'8" out of St. Andrews, Grenada, and then followed by the All-American number 10 senior Bishop Smith. Keaton Rombach as well, followed by Garrett Scaletti and Tanner McFall. As the Red Wolves win the tip, they will have the first possession here in game number 2. Smith now with it to the left wing here for Rombach. Takes in a contested jumper, no good. Ball's loose on the floor, and it looks like Darnell Latham Jr. pulls down the board for the Lynx. Again, Lynx not wearing the road black. We're seeing the new gold uniforms for the first time, and I must say, it looked pretty spiffy here in this one. As, again, for the Lynx, however, Porter, Crumble, Tyler, Latham Jr., and Tyrone Wright on the floor here for the Lynx. As Porter drives in, draws contact. Foul was on the floor, so they will inbound underneath their own basket. Tyler, but the inbound already have a substitution being made here. Donald Lee, the freshman out of Indianapolis, checks in for IU East. They're in the maroon away uniforms. They throw it into Tyrone right at the top of the key. To Crumble on the left wing, looking for a screen. Goes right around it, bounce pass one now, back to midcourt for the junior. To the right wing now here, right in front of me, in Trayvon Tyler. Tyler trying to drive in, picks up his dribble, back to the top of the key, and Crumble. Crumble sees the lane, tries to put up a floater, and he gets things going here early for the Lynx, as the Lynx are on the board first 2-0. I mentioned he had 13 points, 8 rebounds in that win against Leonardwood Belleville. IU East now trying to come back the other way. Smith with it, hands it off now to Scaletta, as he cannot hit the three, but an offensive rebound goes to the Red Wolves, and they will have a fresh shot clock. Lee now back to Smith at the top of the key, and we're going to have an illegal screen going against Lee. A little bit shuffling his feet there, trying to set up a screen for Smith to go right around. However, though, and can't move your feet, he did so. 2-0 Lincoln here. 18.5 minutes remain in this first half. And this is going to be a good weekend here for the Lynx. Like I mentioned, both teams that we're going to see here over the weekend, the ranked opponent, as Porter tries to lob one down low to Wright. However, though, he didn't have the angle as he kicks it back out to Tyler. Tyler now to Crumble. Crumble trying to drive in, puts up a floater off the back of the iron and just out. As it looked like it was Rombach who pulled down the board, and then Porter kind of gave him a little push in the back, so he'll pick up his first foul, team's first, as IU East will get the basketball right back.
Reset, please. Thank you.
Still 2-0 here in the first couple minutes of this ball game. Mentioned here that this Lynx team really trying to perform a lot better than they did on Wednesday night. I was talking with Coach Lepp and some of the guys. They did not like what they saw from there, as Bishop trying to get it down low to Rombach, cross-court pass to the corner. I believe that was Scaletti. Now Lee trying to drive in, right side lane, kicks it back out. But they're gonna say that Rombach actually stepped on the baseline, or on the out-of-bounds line, so there'll be a turnover there for IU East, as it's still 2-0. Here comes Lincoln now back the other way. Latham Jr. drives baseline, kicks it out to the wide-open Trayvon Tyler from the wing, and he knocks it down, and Trayvon Tyler says, yes, sir, he knows. He's already fired up. As we heard on the bus ride here, he knows this is a big game here for the Lynx. And like I mentioned, tough test here for Lynx will talk about it during the timeout as Bishop trying to get going, and he knocks it through. So Tyler and Bishop both answer with points. He throws it into Latham Jr. A baseball pass to Porter. Porter trying to put up a little floater through contact over Lee and gets it to go. 7-2 lead here early for Lincoln through the first 3 minutes. Smith now with it. Bounce pass, give and go with Rombach. He's trying to go right over Tyrone Wright. He couldn't slam it home, though, but they get the offensive rebound, and it's a fresh 20. Lee back to Smith. Smith on the right wing takes a jumper just inside the three-point line. No. Lee with the offensive rebound, tries to save it, throws it back, kicked in the air, and it's into the hands of Trayvon Tyler. Lynx coming back the other way now. Tyler with it, trying to drive in left side lane, and he puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Maybe still Scott might have got a hand on that one, but it's still 7-2 Lincoln here early against the number 14th ranked team in the country as Tyler pokes that one away. It's a one-on-one fast break, and count the basket and the foul. Trayvon Tyler fouled by Bishop Smith, and that'll send Trayvon Tyler to the line for an and one opportunity.
Hey, guys, on the left side of the floor.
Mention NAI Hoops on Twitter reported this was the game of the week, and it's a good matchup here. It'll see, like I mentioned, it'll be interesting to see how this new look of a Lynx team fares in their first real postseason NAI type of play, and this is one of the teams that they're going to have to go through down the stretch if they want to earn a national title. And now Latham Jr. just being a little bit too aggressive right there, pokes his hand in on Silcott, and it'll be a foul. And only the team's second, his first, as the Lynx lead by 8. 10-2 our score, 16.5 minutes remain here in this first half. Good ball movement by IU East as Lee to Silcott, trying to drive baseline, but he is fouled in the act of shooting, and that'll send him to the line for 2 opportunities as the foul does go on Trayvon Tyler. That'll be his first, team's third. As Silcott will have two shots right here. And I mentioned Silcott, just a freshman last season, playing in his second year, knocks down the first. He actually led the nation in the assist-to-turnover ratio last year. So this is a guy that tries to find his teammates, also won't turn the ball over as well. As the second one a little off there. Makes 1 of 2. Rebounded by Crumble, and here come the Lynx back the other way. 10-3 to score. Crumble now with it, lobs it down low to right. Double team. And as it pulled away, they're actually going to say jump ball. As it goes into the hands of Keaton Rombach. As that puts us right under the 16-minute mark. We're going to take a media timeout. Don't go anywhere as you're listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
ME Realty in Lincoln brings home buyers and sellers together in Logan County and the surrounding area. ME Realty is now at a new location at 602 Keokuk in Lincoln. You can also reach them at 217-735-5424. That's 217-735-5424. You can also reach them directly online at SethSellsLincoln.com. That's SethSellsLincoln.com. You can see all of their latest home listings at any time. ME Realty in Lincoln is proud to be involved in the Lincoln community and is a proud supporter of Lincoln College men's and women's basketball.
Welcome back to Marion, Indiana, where so far so good here for the Lynx. They lead at 10-3 over the 14th ranked Indiana University East. However, though, I wouldn't be surprised if this game is tight throughout. We talked about this in the scouting report earlier today, that this is going to be a close game throughout. I mean, this is a Indiana team that is very well coached. I mentioned Mark Hester in his 13th season as the head coach. Right, 261 and 133 record, 123 and 46 in conference play. 9 out of his 12 seasons, he's had 20 or more wins with 134 and 3 record. He also won 17 and 0 that year in conference. That was the 2017-2018 year, as well as they inbounded to Latham Jr., trying to get Tyrone Wright cutting to the basket, but he could not, as it's stolen away. And here comes IU East back the other way, but they're going to have a backcourt violation on, again, IU East. So it'll go right back to Lincoln here on the turnover. To finish what I was saying about Mark Hester, their head coach. However, though, I mentioned the 9-20 win seasons, 20 or more win seasons. He's been to the tournament 7 times. He's won or tied in the conference for 5 straight seasons, dating back to 2014. Also, it has made the Elite 8 in the national tournament 4 straight years in a row as Porter tries to go in. It looked like Donald Lee had a piece of for the block. Instead, it still falls the Lynx way as it rolls in for Porter. 12-3 now our score. Lincoln out in front of the 14th ranked Red Wolves here on the road. Bishop Smith now finds Lee. Lee from downtown. From the corner, he knocks it through. Back to a 6-point lead for the Lincoln. 12-6. Our score, 15 minutes remain in half number 1. And we all know Lincoln, a very good first half team. Second half is still up for grabs. We'll see if they can put 2 halves together as Tyler takes the contested 3. No. Rebounded by the Red Wolves, and here they come back the other way. Keaton Rombach now trying to drive in left side lane, going right at Porter, and he lays it up and in off the glass with the left hand. All of a sudden now it's back down to 4. 12-8 our score. Tyler give and go with Crumble to Porter. Porter trying to answer from downtown. No. Short. Ball's loose on the floor into the hands of Lee. He's going to run the point here, he's trying to find, again, Smith, but instead he will find Isaiah Moore. Moore going to take a 3 from the top of the key, and he knocks it through. All of a sudden, it's a 1-point game, 12-11. Now here, 14-15 left to play in this first half. Latham Jr. now with it, trying to find Crumble. Over here to the right wing in Tyler. Tyler gets a screen from Montez Crumble and now backs out. 15 on the shot clock on the right wing. Giving go with Bishop across the court past the Latham Jr., who's wide open in the left corner for 3, and he knocks it through. That's a big shot right there for Latham Jr., who has not been shooting the ball all particularly well. I'm glad to see that he gets his first one to go. 15-11. Now the score. Now Lee trying to answer on the other end. No. Latham Jr. pulls down the board, trying to go on a fast break opportunity. A 1-on-2 fast break. No, he can't get it to go, but he is fouled in the act of shooting. And that foul is going to go on Donald Lee. That should be his second. Team's 4th. As that'll send Darnell Latham Jr. to the line for 2 opportunities. And the first one bounces off the rim and out, as we're going to have some substitutions here. Nate Solstice checks in along with Julian Short, a senior transfer out of Lincoln Trail. Trying to see if there's any other numbers that kind of came in, snuck in on me here. I believe that is it. Winslow Martin also checked in along with Roy Nesbitt for Lincoln. As he does make the second, Junior does. 16-11 now. Still in favor of the Lynx. Again, this game probably going to be close around that score throughout. As Celestis now has it to Smith. He takes a jumper from the free throw line. Count the basket and the foul for Bishop Smith. The All-American getting things going here for the Red Wolves as he's at the line for an and-one opportunity. And the foul does go on Montez Crumble. That's his first and team's 4th. Bishop, as I mentioned this season or last season, 78% free throw shooter, does miss the and-one opportunity, so it stays a 3-point lead for the Lynx. As Trayvon Tyler trying to pull it down, he's trying to get double teamed instead, trying to go coast to coast, looked like a travel, instead finds Martin to Junior. Junior from the same corner, no good. And we have a foul going against Trayvon Tyler. I didn't quite hear what the call was. Kind of looked like another one of those flopping opportunities. Again, that's a new rule that we're starting to see in these 3 games. We've seen it all 3 games. It's kind of one of those interesting calls. It's basically up to the officials' discretion. They saw enough, and they called it on Trayvon Tyler.
Look at him, look at him, look at him!
So now that'll give the Red Wolves right back, but Tyler answers with a steal right there, finds Martin running the floor, and he'll lay it up and in. Lynx on the fast break. These guys are a very good run-and-gun type of team, and they do it right there. Nice assist from Trayvon Tyler. 18-13 now, 12:45 remain in this first half. The Red Wolves trail your Lynx, but they have the basketball, though, however. Short takes a three from the right wing, no good, as it's pulled down by Martin. Lynx coming back now down the other way, as Latham Jr. was open in the corner, instead did not take the three. Thought about it now. Now he'll take the shot. No, off the front of the rim and out. Montez Crumble with the offensive rebound. A little floater. No, just a tad too strong. And it's pulled down by the Red Wolves. 18-13 now, still to score. Here comes Moore running the point. He drives in, left side lane, reverse layup, gets it to go. Now all of a sudden it's a three-point lead for the Lynx. 12 minutes remain here in this half. They're looking for Trayvon Tyler as here comes across the court pass. Just gets it across half court. Crumble now with it. At the top of the key, trying to drive in. Finds Nesbitt down low on the right side of the lane. Trying to drive in, and they're going to have a blocking foul going against Julian Short, the senior out of Justice, Illinois, who stands 6'6". He's about the only one they got so far to match up with Roy Nesbitt, who, again, I believe his mom and his girlfriend are in the stands here tonight, so shout out to them, as Nesbitt does stand 6'9". They will say it was on the floor, though, however. So Lynx will inbound underneath their own basket. That was IU East's fifth team foul. Ian Short's first. Porter back in the ball game along with Maris as they find Nesbitt and they throw it in, and now they're going to have another flopping call yet again on Short, as they called one on Tyler, and then this time they call it on Julian Short. I think it was the right call, as Nesbitt gave him a little bit of a bump, but not that big of a bump. He did make the left hook shot, as it's 20-15 lead here for the Lynx. IU East with the basketball. They trail by 5. And we mentioned this game is going to be close throughout. More with it now at the top of the key. Thought about a shot. Instead, Felicis tries to drive in left side lane, and he'll put it up through contact. Trying to go quickly here are the Lynx. They got a 2-on-1 fast break, but Porter loses control of it, and Maris cannot save it from going out of bounds. So a turnover by the Lynx, and it's going back the other way. That's something you definitely don't want to see if you're a Lynx fan. We had 20 turnovers in the win against Lindenwood Belleville. You want to see that kind of cleaned up just a little bit. So far, so good with hanging on to the basketball. Moore with it now at the top of the key to the left wing. Now in the Solstice. Give it down low to Short. He tries a right-hand hook off the glass. No good, but Maris is going to let that one roll out of bounds. And they are going to say last touched by IU East. So it's going back the other way. 3-point lead still for the Lynx with 11 minutes remain here in half number 1. IU East going to send a little bit of pressure here, mainly just on Trayvon Tyler, one of our best ball handlers here on the floor. 20-17 lead. As Tyler brings it up across the court, he's double-teamed right at midcourt. Ball is loose, but they're going to call a cylinder call on Isaiah Moore. And got to give him a little bit of spacing right there. They could not. And another one of those officials' discretions. Now they're actually talking it over here just a little bit. I believe they already called it.
What'd he do? Yeah, you go.
An official giving Martin a little bit of a word here. Again, that was Moore's first, team 6, so one more, and that'll put the Lynx in the bonus as they throw it in at Tyler. Tyler now with it, gets a screen, goes right through it across the court, pass to Maris. Maris catch and shoot from the right side corner. No, way too strong. Not like Maris right there. IU East trying to come back the other way. Silcott trying to drive in, instead was fouled before the act of shooting, so they will inbound on the baseline, as that's going to go on Maris, the foul. So that'll be his first, team's 5th. As Moore set to inbound underneath IU East's own basket. They throw it into Short, hands it off to Moore. He's in the left side corner. It's poked out of bounds by Trayvon Tyler. Here comes Bishop Smith back into the ball game. He gets it. Garrett Silcott. And we mentioned also, along with Keaton Rombach, back into the ball game. And still have not seen Jalen McKay. Jalen McKay, one of their better shooters. Again, he led them in that national tournament run. The game, he actually had 7 points in the loss to Spring Arbor, but every other game he played phenomenal So you know that when he scores, they have a good chance of winning. Haven't seen him yet. Moore trying to take a 3 over Porter. No. Tyrone Wright pulling down a huge board there, fighting with 3 IU East defenders, and they're going to call it jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with IU East as they still trail your Lynx 20-17 with 10 minutes remain here in this first half. Moore set the inbound underneath their own basket. Fresh 30 for the Red Wolves. They throw it into Bishop on the left wing. Give and go with Moore. Moore now dribbling around, handling it around. Again, at the top of the key. Porter almost got a hand on it. Instead, they find the big man down low. Rombach, he makes 2 defenders jump off the air and pump fake, and then lays it up and in. That was Keaton Rombach with that one down low. Tyler now trying to get across half court. He does. Backdoor pass to Porter, who was running the baseline, and he lays it up and in with a reverse layup. Good answer there from the Lynx, 22-19. Still the score, Lynx up by 3. Moore with it on the left wing, and they're going to have a carry. Interesting call right there on Isaiah Moore. Most officials kind of let that slide a little bit, especially bringing it up the floor. However, though, they call it, and it's a little bit of a gift there for the Lynx as they will get the ball back here with a 3-point lead. Tyler now bringing it up the floor. He gets trying to drive in. Finds Porter running the baseline yet again. This time he can't get that one to go, but Wright is there, and the putback is good. Wright showing his aggressiveness, and that's exactly what Coach Lipp wants to see out of the big man here who wears number 25. 24-19 lead here for the Lynx. 9.5 minutes remain. Again, now Nate Solstice now trying to drive baseline, trying to bounce pass one to the corner for Rombach, but stolen away by Crumble. Crumble now trying to go back the other way. They had the fast break. Instead, they don't get it. Out to Tyler. Tyler wide open on the right wing for 3. No, just a tad too strong as it's rebounded by Solstice and the Red Wolves. Here they come back the other way. Moore trying to go coast to coast, and he'll lay it up and in. Looks like Wright might have had a piece of it, but they baseball pass to Porter now. He's on the right wing trying to drive in, and they're going to have a blocking foul going against the Red Wolves, and we'll see who that's on, but that is the team's 7th, so that should put Porter at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. I believe that's going to go on Solstice, so that'll be his first. As Silcott checks back into the ball game, he gets more. As Latewan Porter at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. As he knocks down the first right there. Crumble, Martin the second, Porter, Tyler, and Wright on the floor here for the Lynx. And Porter rattles home the second one as well. So 2 for 2 from the line goes Latewan Porter, and it's a 5-point lead yet again. Here come the Red Wolves back the opposite direction as Bryce Long also into the ballgame as well. Bishop Smith from way downtown, and he knocks it through. We know he's capable of that, as we'll see what Tyler has in store. Crumble trying to answer from nearly the same spot, and he does. Montez Crumble with a 3 of his own, had the only 3 in the ballgame in the win against Lindenwood Belleville on the way to his 13 points. As he gives Keaton Rombach a little bit of room, he's going to take the shot. He can't get it to fall, though. However, Tyler with a baseball pass to Wright, who's a little bit underneath the basket. Just kind of spin moves, goes baseline, cannot get that one to go. Too strong as Long pulls down the board here for the Red Wolves. Smith with it. He gets a screen. Thought about a 3 from the top of the key. Give and go with Rombach. Now out to the corner, and Silcott, and he knocks down the 3. I believe we're going to have a technical foul going against Latewan Porter after the shot was made. So count the basket. The basket is good. And then Latewan Porter going to be called for a technical foul. Didn't quite see what happened. It was right after the made shot. And Coach Lepp will get his excuse in just a second, but we're going to take a media timeout yet again as we're under the 8-minute mark. The Lynx lead by 2, 29-27. We'll be right back right after this.
The State Bank of Lincoln is Lincoln's oldest bank. In fact, its home location at 508 Broadway dates back over 100 years. That's 100 years of providing Lincoln and surrounding area residents and businesses with banking services, including checking and savings accounts. They also provide personal, business, and agricultural loans and retirement planning. The State Bank of Lincoln's Woodlawn branch opens mornings at 7:30. You can also find them at Walmart in Lincoln and with 2 locations in Clinton. The State Bank of Lincoln, since 1903, assisting and strengthening both individuals and the local community.
Welcome back to Marion, Indiana, home of Indiana Wesleyan University. Again, we have ourselves a dogfight so far here in this one, 29-27, with, again, free throws coming due to the technical foul picked up by Latewan Porter. Didn't quite see what happened, though. It was underneath the basket, away from the basketball, so and then didn't really get a kind of a explanation. But, however, though, it is a technical foul. So far, taking a look at some of the rankings here for the Lynx. However, one thing you got to mention about this Lynx team, they come in, thank you, 4th in the nation so far in 3-point field goals. The defense only allowed about 20% from the free throw or from the 3-point line so far this season, as Bishop Smith is going to be the one to take the technical free throws. Mentioned about a 78% free throw shooter, knocks down the first, as Coach McGee and Coach Lepp were not happy about what was going on. I believe they wanted to say Rombach should have been the one taking the free throws. However, though, Bishop, probably their best free throw shooter, knocks it down as they come out in the full court press. Porter does stay in the game. However, after the media timeout, he's got the basketball right now. The press kind of backs off just a little bit, and they get it across half court. 29-28 lead for the Red Wolves as Porter going to town, finds a lane, and splits both defenders and lays it up and in. And so far, Porter doing work in this ball game as he's got 10 here in this first half. 7.5 minutes remain. 31-28 lead for the Lynx. As Rombach now with it, and we have a foul away from the basketball yet again on Tyrone Wright, kind of giving a little bit of an elbow there to Lafayette. So with that being said, that's his first, team 6th in this contest. So one more in the IU East will be in the bonus. They're going to inbound underneath their own basket, though, however. Into Bryce Long. Now finds Smith. What about a screen give and go with Lafayette, and he goes right to the rack, drives baseline. He can't get it to go, and now we have a foul. This time going on Lafayette. As him and Tyrone Wright were kind of battling back and forth underneath. As here comes Short back into the ball game. As he gets Lafayette again. Julian Short, not short by all means, stands 6'6", literally a foot taller than myself. He's a transfer out of Governor's State. Again, one thing to mention about him, great communicator on the floor, as that comes from their head coach. Again, that was Lafayette's second, so therefore he will go to the line for another and one opportunity. Or for a 1-on-1 opportunity, excuse me. He does make the first, though, however. 32-28 now. As here comes Brady Smith, the senior guard out of Anderson, Indiana. He will get Bryce Long, the freshman out of Georgetown, Kentucky. We'll have more on him in just a minute. He played in one heck of a high school state championship game his senior year. We'll talk more on that later in this broadcast. Wright knocks down the second one as well. 2 for 2 from the line. And it's a 33-28 lead here for the Lynx. 7 minutes remain. So they're trying to hand it off to Smith. Instead, looks like, I believe that is Silcott with it. Now over to Smith. Smith trying to get a one, and they're going to have another illegal screen. This time going on Brady Smith. So that'll give them another turnover here by IU East, and that'll give the ball right back to the Lynx. So far, counting that one, IU East has 9 turnovers, make it now 10 in this first half. Tyler's just trying to go coast to coast, and he will right through the right side of the lane and lays it up and in. Even through contact, 35-28, 6:45 to go in this first half. The Lynx trying to heat up just a little bit, but the Red Wolves trying to answer with a three. That was Brady Smith, and he knocks it down from the left wing. Tyler bringing it up the floor, now finds Martin. Martin one-on-one with Smith, kicks it back out to Crumble. And both teams battling back and forth. Crumble sees the lane, drives in right side lane, off the glass. Can't get it to go, tad too strong, but is fouled in the act of shooting. So they're going to give Montez Crumble a chance to shoot some free throws right here. As Crumble, so far this season, he is perfect. First in the nation in free throw shooting percentage, 100%. And I thankfully didn't just jinx him right there. He does make the first. He does have one more free throw coming, though, however, so possibly could see it that way. Back to a 5-point lead, though, for the Lynx. And the second one, nothing but net as well. Montez Crumble, cool, calm, and collected from the free throw line. Still perfect on the year. It's 37-31. Lynx out on top of, and nationally ranked 14th in the country, IU East. As Smith with it, trying to drive in right side lane. Bounce passes one to the right corner. As he drives baseline, puts a little floater up. Can't get it to go. Short with an offensive rebound. He can't get it to go either. Tyler pulls down the board here for the Lynx. And it's a 2-on-4 fast break and not in favor of the Lynx. And Tyler still manages to keep possession of the basketball. Finds Latham Jr. now to Crumble. Trying to drive in right side lane at the free throw line now. That one's poked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lynx with 16 on the shot clock.
Square. You're still giving it. You're still too high. Keating, you're still too high.
And one thing I was looking for in tonight's contest was to see Trayvon Tyler get back on track, and so far he has. He's got 8 points in this first half. And we mentioned Montez Crumble. He's got 7. Tyler across the court pass to Crumble, who almost threw it too high. Saved by Martin from going out of bounds. Wright going to take it a deep 3 now. No good. As it's rebounded there once again by IU East. Smith gets a screen, goes to the right side of it, picks up his dribble, trying to find somebody down low. They find Short right at the free throw line as they kick it back around from Smith. Now goes Rombach, who drives baseline. Can't get it to go, but a late foul called on the Lynx. We'll see who that goes on in just a second. I'm going to say it was on Winslow Martin the second. So again, that'll put Keaton Rombach, the senior forward out of Ottawa, Illinois, at the line. And he knocks down the first one right here. And we mentioned Rombach battling with some injuries. I believe it would be a right knee injury. He's got a brace on it, but so far he started every game that he's been able to play in. He's out of transfer out of St. Xavier University, as he is a 78% free throw shooter and knocks down both. Right there, the Lynx going to inbound underneath their own basket. Still lead by 4, 37-33. 5 minutes remain here in half number 1. Martin now with it. He's on the right wing, guarded by Short. Trying to go to Tyler in the corner. He's double teamed, trying to split both defenders. He does so. Turnaround spin move, up and under move, and gets it to fall. Trayvon Tyler working his magic here, and so far it is working in this first half. 39-33 on some miracle shot there by Trayvon Tyler. Smith takes a step back 3. No good for IU East, and it's pulled down by Trayvon Tyler. Here he comes now back the other way. A 3-on-2 fast break, and he takes it himself. Can't get it to go. Smith now over to Moore, who just checked back in. He'll take a 3. No, long rebound into the hands of Crumble. And we have a foul going against IU East yet again. That'll on Martin. That'll be on Keaton Rombach. So that'll be his second. Team's 10th. So they'll put Martin at the line here for 2 free throws since we are in the double bonus. And Martin, so far this season, averaging about 7 points a game, 1 rebound. He's also perfect from the free throw line. And there it was. If it wasn't on Montez Crumble, it's got to be on Winslow Martin. So he's no longer perfect from the free throw line after missing the first one. It's always a broadcaster's curse. They can always blame me. It's okay. Does average about 1.5 steals per contest. This is a Lynx team that comes in awfully dangerous 11th in the nation in total steals with 26. 13th in the nation in total steals per contest as well with 13. Does make the second one, however, though. 40-33 lead here for the Lynx as they lead by 7. About 4 minutes remain. Smith now with it. He's at the top of the key. Lynx worked on not switching off of him. If you go underneath the ball screen, he's going to take a deep three. We've seen him make one already. Crumble guarding him. He puts a hand in his face, drives baseline, takes a step back jumper, and he knocks it down over the hand of Montez Crumble. Good defense there from the Lynx. Just a better shot from Bishop Smith, the All-American last year for IU East. 40-35 lead. Now Porter trying to drive in on left side lane. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Put back. Still can't get it to go. As he does have 10 here in this first half. Rebounded by IU East. Moore just goes right past everybody and lays it up and in. The Lynx did not get back in time. And now we have a foul before the inbound. And I believe that's going to go on Laytwan Porter. They called a foul before the ball was even inbound. And they will say that he initiated the hold on the arm for Laytwan Porter. That's going to be his third here in this first half, so I'm sure he's going to have to take a seat for the remainder of this half. About 3.5 minutes remain in this ball game, or in this first half. Tyler, Latham Jr., Martin, Wright, and Crumble out on the floor here now for the Lynx in the new gold uniforms. And the first time we've seen these gold uniforms so far this season. They're also very new. Bishop drives in, left side lane, can't get it to go. Wright had the rebound, doesn't get it. It's an offensive rebound as it goes into the hands of Solstice, and he lays it up and in. 40-39 now, back to a 1-point lead. And all of a sudden it's a 6-0 run there for IU East. Martin to Junior in the corner. Junior trying to drive baseline, takes a step back jumper, and he knocks it down, fading away from his man, and still finds a way to put it through the basket. 42-39. Under 3 to play. Moore now with it, drives in right side lane, trying to find Solstice, who was cutting towards the basket, but stolen away by Tyler. Give and go with Latham Jr., and he'll lay it up and in. And it was a 3-on-none fast break. And again, IU East did not get back in time. Silcott now had it poked away as Bishop was trying to get a hand on it to save it, but he could not. And it's a turnover yet again. Here come the Lynx back the opposite direction. Martin, quick pass into Junior. Nobody was paying attention. As almost he couldn't corral it. Otherwise, it would have been a good play there. He finds Crumble in the right side corner. He drives baseline, and he puts it up and in. Montez Crumble having himself a first half here. He's got 9 in this first half alone. Led the team in the game against Lindenwood Belleville with 13. This time he's already got 9 in the half, and we have a quick timeout here. Something, I believe a contact might have fell out there on Nate Solstice, so Short's going to have to come back in. And this place was packed in game number 1. They had a live pep band, the student section, a lot of season ticket holders, and everybody cleared out for the second game. However, though, we will see Indiana Wesleyan tomorrow, so I'm sure it'll be loud and crazy in that one. I saved my Facebook Live just for that, to show you what the atmosphere is like here in Marion, Indiana, as Bishop Smith takes a step back jumper, and he'll knock it through. 46-41, under 2 minutes to play in this first half. Tyler to Crumble on the left wing. Crumble trying to drive in. Instead, stops right at the top of the post. Down low to Wright. Wright with a turnaround right-hand hook and gets it to go. Nice touch from the big fella. 48-41 as it's back to a 7-point lead here for the Lynx. Every time IU East answers, the Lynx have a run of their own. Smith with a long 3, can't get it to go. It's a 2-on-1 fast break. Crumble just trying to go right at Smith. He can't get it to go. And as Crumble looked to be down on the floor, IU East wants them to get it and go as he kicks it to Moore in the corner, now to Bishop. Bishop from downtown, no, too strong, poked back out by IU East into the hands of Martin. Give and go with Tyler. Tyler lays it up, but he cannot finish, but is fouled in the act of shooting, so he'll go to the line for 2 opportunities. They will say that was on Bishop Smith. as that was his second. Again, team already in the double bonus, so Tyler will get 2 shots. Knocks down the first one right there. Again, Solstice comes back in after putting his contact back in. Lep made an emphasis about talking and communicating out on the floor, and you can hear Martin and Tyler, along with Crumble and Junior, all communicating with each other as Tyler misses 1 of 2. He missed the second one as Julian Short basically just pulled away from Tanner McFall for the rebound. Under a minute to play, give and go with McFall. He makes his man miss. Makes, actually, Martin leave his feet with the pump fake and then goes right up at him. So he'll go to the line for 2 shots. McFall, a junior out of Columbus, Indiana. And a transfer actually out of Wabash Valley. And Winslow Martin has seen him a few times, as he cannot knock down the first the 1-and-1 opportunity, as the Lynx will get the basketball right back. Under 40 seconds to play, Martin going to take a deep 3 from the wing, and he knocks it through. 52-41 lead here for the Lynx. And shot clock and game clock separated roughly by about 7 seconds or so. So Lynx could have about 7 seconds to get the basketball back. 25 seconds remain. 17 on the shot clock. Moore now with it. To the right wing. Give and go back with Moore. Moore tries the left wing now. Back to Moore at the top of the key. Down low to McPhail. To the corner, and Solstice, who take 1 step in, takes a jumper, no good. Pulled down by Martin. Shot clock turned off. 4 seconds remain. They find Junior. Junior on the right wing takes a step back 3. No, just off. But a good look there for the Lynx as they head to halftime. And Lynx got to be feeling pretty good about themselves here in half number 1. They lead 52-41 over the 14th ranked Indiana University East. The Red Wolves here in this one, and like I said, this is going to be a tough test for this Lynx squad. They have to come in, they got to play 2 nationally ranked opponents, a team that definitely made the national tournament last season, got to the Elite 8, and then ended up losing to, like I mentioned, the so-called national champs in that one, Spring Arbor. So this is a great opportunity that we've seen out of this Lynx team so far here in this first half, especially due to the fact that we really didn't know what to expect. Lynx a little bit undersized, but we knew that they had the best guards in the country, and we heard Coach Lepp say that that's exactly what they wanted them to do, play guard for guard, match up guard for guard, and I would say so far right now, Trayvon Tyler having himself a night, along with Montez Crumble and Porter, who has played well. Unfortunately, just picked up 3 fouls in that first half, one being a technical foul. So that'll do it here for halftime. We'll be back in roughly about 10 minutes or so to bring you the full stats, so don't go anywhere. Lincoln College basketball leads at halftime 52-41 over the 14th ranked Red Wolves here in this one. More Lincoln College basketball coming your way right after this.
Hi, Mom. Is Claire's birthday party today? Me again, Mom. Where did I put my history book? Hi. Sorry, forgot one last thing. Sometimes it's hard to concentrate. At school, I start looking out the window, and then I forget what I was supposed to be thinking about. I know it seems like I don't care, but I do. It's just difficult for me. Love you, Mom. Bye.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive. Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
Woohoo! All right.
What is it?
I got into state.
Yes. What's the other letter?
Oh, no.
If you're a young man and fail to register with Selective Service within 30 days of your 18th birthday, you will not be eligible for financial aid.
No.
To register, visit sss.gov on your computer or smartphone. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. But a little over a year ago, we realized she couldn't take care of herself without our help. And, well, how could I not be there for her? I had no idea how hard it would be, and just what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood, and even for me, ways to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics that got me started, but also information about the hurdles I was facing in this new role. I could even connect with experts and hear from others who had been in my place. I know this road we're on isn't an easy one, but I'm really happy to have the extra help for her and for me. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. This message is brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln is proud to be a sponsor this season of Lincoln College men's and women's basketball on 89X and on LCTV. Thanks to their generous support, you'll never miss a single broadcast this season as the Lynx compete in NAIA action. Grau Chevrolet Buick has served the Lincoln and surrounding area with new and used vehicles, along with a complete service department since 1953. Grau is open Monday through Friday between 8 and 7, and on Saturdays 8 to 3. Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln at 1905 North Kickapoo.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good, others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when something doesn't seem quite right that it's time to pay attention.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Hey.
Hi, nice neighborhood. You must have a strong community association board.
I don't pay any attention to that stuff.
How do you know the board and community manager are making the right decisions?
I don't, but what can I do?
Connect with CAI.
CA what?
CAI, Community Associations Institute. They're a nonprofit group with free resources for your board, training for community managers, and information for homeowners.
Protect your investment at responsiblecommunities.com.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The State Bank of Lincoln is Lincoln's oldest bank. In fact, its home location at 508 Broadway dates back over 100 years. That's 100 years of providing Lincoln and surrounding area residents and businesses with banking services, including checking and savings accounts. They also provide personal, business, and agricultural loans and retirement planning. The State Bank of Lincoln's Woodlawn branch opens mornings at 7:30. You can also find them at Walmart in Lincoln and with 2 locations in Clinton. The State Bank of Lincoln, since 1903, assisting and strengthening both individuals and the local community.
Welcome back to Marion, Indiana. It's halftime here on the campus of Indiana Wesleyan University, where your Lynx find themselves leading the 14th-ranked Red Wolves of Indiana East 52-41 at the half. We have, as promised, some stats for you as well. Leading the way for the Lynx, though, however, is the man, the myth, the legend, the MVP, former freshman player of the year in Trayvon Tyler. He's got 11, but not too far from him is Latwan Porter, who has 10, but he had 3 fouls in that first half, so he did have to take a seat in the last about 3.5 minutes or so. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do coming back in this second half. Not too far, but I got to like the scoring effort here from the Lynx, really sharing the basketball a lot more. Only, again, we mentioned 9 assists in the win against Belleville. Also 8 in the win against Graceland. We have 10 already here in half number 1. You got to like what you're seeing out of this Lynx team. That was really going to be a point of emphasis, along with trying to rebound the basketball as well. Now, we're not necessarily the best in size, but the rebounding category 2019 in favor of Indiana East, but at least it's only by 1, so the Lynx doing their part on the glass as well. Leading the way, though, for the Red Wolves, Bishop Smith, he's got 12 so far, along with Isaiah Moore. He's got 9 after that. A couple big threes there down the stretch. But we mentioned, though, the Lynx do a great job of holding their man for their shots and as a team from the three-point line. So far, Indiana East shooting 5 for 13 from behind the arc. Good for 38%. Not quite where the Lynx have it, but there's also another half to be played. And the Lynx, though, did shoot 52% in that first half, 19 for 36 in that contest. We'll see if they can put 2 halves together, though. That's really kind of been their kryptonite so far here through the first 2 games. Not being able to put 2 halves together. However, though, I like what I'm seeing. 10 assists in that contest. But one thing I really wanted to go back to, I kind of skipped over it there, tell you a few other stats, is the points. I mentioned Tyler with 11, Latwan Porter with 10, but Crumble is at 9, Junior is at 8, Tyrone Wright is at 6, Winslow Martin's at 6, and Nesbitt's at 2. So everybody is on the scoreboard, and I like that it's all evened out, spread out throughout this first half. And again, that's what you want to see, the good ball movement that leads to the assists being up a little bit. And the other thing, 5 turnovers, only 5 in that first half. The Lynx, who had 20 in the entire game against Belleville, only have 5 here in half number 1. So you got to like what you're seeing from this Lynx team. They are communicating, they are talking very well, they are passing the basketball, finding the open man, doing what they need to do on the glass. We already know they'll probably get out-rebounded majority of their games, but Coach Lepp wants it to be fairly close. They want them to have the work ethic and try to put themselves in a good position to win, and so far they have done that here with an 11-point lead going into halftime or going into this second half. Everybody's shooting the basketball fairly well, I would say. Most. Porter was 4 for 8. Crumble 3 for 6. Tyler 4 for 8. Latham Jr. 3 for 6. I'm glad he did hit that 1-3. Hopefully that'll get him going, as Jr. has not shot the ball particularly well, but has found ways, majority from the free throw line, to get his points when needed to. He still does average the second leading scorer on our team with 12.5 points per contest, pulls down 5 boards for the Lynx, and an 80% free throw shooter. So he does what he needs to do from the free throw line, but I know this man is capable of knocking down about 6-7 threes in a row. for this Lynx team. I think he just needs to find it and have a little bit of confidence in himself as well. Hopefully I can extend some his way from myself. I know Coach Lepp, Coach McGee, Coach Rob, they all do the same stuff. They want to see him knock down some threes like that he's capable of. With that being said, the Lynx were 4 for 12 from the free throw or from the three-point line, shooting 33%. At least it's better than 5 in the game the other night, so we'll take it. Anything that we can get, though. However, one thing though I did see the Lynx playing great defense on and off the ball. Again, a little chippy though. They already do have 5 steals in this contest. I mentioned the stats with steals per game and things of that nature. But you got to remember, Montez Crumble and Latwan Porter are both ranked 18th in the country in steals, in total steals with 6. They both have 6 to lead this Lynx team. Trayvon Tyler, I think he was about 29th with 5. So not too far behind him. As I mentioned, it is Trayvon Tyler with 3 of the 5 steals. Martin has the other one, along with Montez Crumble. So Porter did not have one in that first half, but I would not be surprised if he had about 2 or 3, maybe even 4 here in this second half. And we're getting ready to get things going. About a minute and a half so remain before we kick it off. Lynx already done shooting. They want to talk things over. I mentioned Coach Lepp talked about it in his shoot-around. He wanted the communication to be up. He wanted the intensity level to be up. Quote for quote, he said they deserved this. And so far, they are playing like it. He said they were one of the best teams in the country. They wanted to get some respect. Well, they definitely got some eyes opened in that first half. Again, mentioned 14th ranked Red Wolves out of Indiana East. And these guys are a good team. Mentioned they went to the Elite 8 last year, and they have 3 returning starters. Again, Rombach, Smith, and again Jalen McKay, who we have not seen. But a lot of transfers as well. They lost their big man, I would have to say. But these guys are still a no-joke type of team. As if you look at it so far last season, I mean, these guys shot almost 50% as a team from the field. Actually 47%, 36 from behind the arc, and 68% from the free throw line. They averaged about 7 steals as well and only 12 turnovers. And they have 13 turnovers in that first half. So, it didn't quite go as planned. I mentioned I was talking with somebody earlier about this game. This is one of those games where it's a good matchup for both sides to kind of see what you're made of. The Lynx taking on a ranked opponent, a really good ranked opponent, and for Indiana East to kind of see what they have because they lost kind of a lot. So we'll see. The Lynx will get the basketball back here to start this second half. 52-41. Our score as we start half number 2. Junior, Tyler, Crumble, Wright, and Porter out on the floor for the Lynx. Porter trying to take a deep 3 from downtown. No good. Off the front of the rim and out. Maybe not the shot Coach Lepp wanted. And same starting 5 for both squads. As Smith trying to answer 3 from the left side corner. No good. Tyler with the rebound here. Again, I think they wanted a double dribble. Didn't get one. Finds Wright. Goes left side. Trying to drive in, but he's blocked. And it's batted out of bounds by Lafayette. So it'll stay with the Lynx here underneath their own basket. 19 and a half minutes remain. Tyler going to inbound. Right to Junior. He's on the left corner trying to drive baseline. Falls a little bit, but they're going to have a push right there on Indiana East. And a team that was in the double bonus. It's going to go on Tanner McFall. His first. And team's first here in the half as well. So they'll do it again. Set to inbound underneath their own basket. To Porter this time. Porter trying to drive in. Puts one up. With kind of up and under move. Can't get it to go. Lafayette with some good defense there from IU East. And now they're trying to go coast to coast. He cannot. But Lafayette goes right over the top of Tyrone Wright and puts the putback up and in. That was Silcott who tried to go coast to coast but could not. 52-43 as Junior now with it. Takes a mid-range jumper. No good. Rebounded by Bishop Smith of IU East. So one and done yet again here for Lincoln as they maintain a 9-point lead. Silcott give and go here with Rombach. He drives baseline trying to kick it out towards the corner, but we have a foul on the floor as it'll go against Trayvon Tyler. His second, teams first here in the half. As Indiana East now will inbound underneath their own basket with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to lob it in there to McFall. They kind of spread the floor just a little bit and got the opening they wanted. As now a baseball pass from Tyler to Latham Jr. going coast to coast, and he'll lay it up and in. Again, IU East not getting back on defense quick enough, and the Lynx are just blowing right past them. But they're also doing the same thing to us as Garrett Silcott goes right past Porter, drives baseline, and lays it up and in. 54-47, 18 and a half minutes to play here in Marion. Tyler now with it. Tyler trying to drive in, right side lane, kicks it to the left side corner, in the corner for three for Porter, no. Rebounded yet again by IU East and Keaton Rombach. He'll bring it up the floor, trying to back down Porter, spin moves, goes with the right hand, no, it's tipped out, ball's loose, as McFall will come up with it. Now, Lafayette takes a three from the top of the key. No. That ball's tipped right into the hands of Bishop Smith. The Lynx got a box out here. The third opportunity for IU East. 54-47. It's another fresh 20. As Rombach trying to back down his man, give and go with Lafayette. He drives into the lane. Can't get to go. Tip back. Yes. Gets his own miss. 54-49. IU East trying to come up the other way, and Tyler now fouled hard, trying to bring it across midcourt. And it'll be on Silcott, the sophomore guard out of Cornersville, Indiana. And his first, team second. 17 and a half minutes remain, 54-49. Lead still here for the Lynx. As they throw it into Latham Jr. Jr. now with it on the left wing. Guarded by Bishop. Out to Porter. Porter working on Lafayette. He drives in left side lane, puts it up off the glass. Count the basket and the foul. As Latwan Porter drew contact, puts it up with the left hand off the glass and in. Latwan Porter now at the line for an and one opportunity. As that goes on Lafayette, that's his third. Your team's third in the half. As Porter's second one opportunity knocks it through, and all of a sudden it's back to an 8-point lead, 57-49, with 17 minutes remain. IU East with the basketball. This could be a possible upset alert as Rombach trying to go right at Porter, but he cannot. Offensive rebound now goes to Lafayette, and it looked like a clear traveling violation right in front of us. Did not get it, though, however, as he knocks it through. Latham Jr. now drives baseline, up and under move, and they go right at Lafayette, who already has 3 fouls. And that's going to go on Lafayette, and he was a little bit upset. The official kind of gave him a little bit of a weird for him, as that's, again, his fourth, team's fourth here in the half. And that's exactly what you want to do. Probably the biggest man on the floor, who stands 6'8", here for the Red Wolves. Already in some foul trouble here with 17 minutes to go. As you know, he will check out of this game. Nate Solstice will come in for him, and it's going to be a long wait. We'll see what Coach Hester has up his sleeve, when he's going to bring the big man back in. Latham Jr. at the line. Does knock down the second one, 1 of 2. That's a 59-51 ball game. Smith now with it, hands it off here to Solstice. Now to Silcott. Silcott to McFall, now back to Rombach. To Silcott from downtown, no good. Crumble pulls down the board, outlet pass to Latham Jr., who's got Porter running the floor, but he's going to take it himself, lays it up and in. 10-point lead now here for the Lynx over the 14th-ranked Red Wolves of Indiana University East. They're trying to feed the big man Rombach down low. They're going to have a traveling violation. I saw it from here as he shuffled his feet, and all of a sudden this frustration is mounting here for the Red Wolves. Here comes the full court press now. At least they're going to show it a little bit. They throw it into Porter. Porter now trying to go coast to coast. He can't lay it up and in with the reverse layup, tipped by Wright. They're going to say it was last touched by Tyrone Wright, and it's going back the other way. A couple of parents in the stands not happy with the officiating here so far. They're really making it known. 61-51 lead for the Lynx. 16 minutes to play in this second half. As Silcott with it. Goes to the left wing. There for Rombach, who now has it. Thought about baseline. Hands it off to Bishop. Bishop from the left side corner. Backs it out. Trying to drive baseline. Trying to find the cutting Solstice, who lays it up and almost tried to dunk it home. Instead, he does take the easy two. And at 61-53, here comes a double team from Tyler to Porter now with it. And have to back it out on the left wing. Trying to drive in. Good defense, though, by the Red Wolves. Stops Porter in his tracks. He has to hand it off to Crumble. 17 seconds on the shot clock now. Crumble now with it on the right wing. Probably had Wright down low. Didn't see him, though. Porter on the right side corner. 9 seconds to go. He's going to drive baseline. Kicks it back out to Junior. Junior thought about a three. Instead goes. Nice dribbling moves. Drives in. Left side lane. Puts it off the glass and in. Darnell Latham Jr. took Nate Solstice to school, and he really took him to town on that one. And now we have a foul going against Darnell Latham Jr. As that'll be under the 16-minute mark right here. That will be a media timeout. We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Your Lynx up by 10. Upset alert here on the road. 63-53. We'll be right back right after this.
Every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
This is talent worth knowing about.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back inside Marion, Indiana, the home of Indiana Wesleyan University. Again, you just heard it from right there. Let's hear a quick word from our sponsors so far. I mean, I love my Chevy truck. I don't know about you. If you want one that looks just like mine, go to Grouse Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln. It is proud to be a sponsor this season of Lincoln College men's and women's basketball on 89X and our sister station LCTV. Thanks to their generous support, you'll never miss a single broadcast this season as the Lynx compete in NAIA action. Grouse Chevrolet Buick has served the Lincoln and surrounding areas with new and used vehicles along with a complete service department since 1953. Grouse is open Monday through Friday between 8 and 7 and on Saturdays 8 to 3. Grouse Chevrolet Buick at 1905 North Kickapoo in Lincoln. Wow. Gotta love all that. 63-53 here coming out of the media timeout. I believe we had a technical foul called during that. I believe that was on Montez Crumble. And now Indiana Indiana West wants to take a 30-second timeout right here as well. We'll see what exactly, I believe a technical foul was issued there during that timeout. That was going on Montez Crumble, so that'll be his team's first here in the half as well. Kind of interesting there. Bishop Smith shot a free throw, made it, makes it a 9-point lead for the Lynx, and we'll see if I'm sure they'll get the ball back right here with just under 15 minutes to go in this second half. Lynx 15 minutes away from picking up their third win and upsetting the 14th ranked Red Wolves here in the first game of the season. Still a long way to go, though. Anything can happen. We'll see what happens coming out of this 30-second timeout taken by Mark Hester. They throw it into Smith. Smith at the top of the key, working it left on the wing, back to the top of the key, and Smith. He's trying to drive inside the paint. He'll take a jumper. No good off the front of the rim and out as Porter pulls it down. And Latham Jr. saves it from going out of bounds, but they will say he stepped on the baseline. So that'll give the ball right back to the Red Wolves. Getting awfully close. It was right in front of me. A couple of Red Wolves coaches were right there. I couldn't quite see the entire line, but it was awfully close. 63-54, 14-40 remains here in this second half. Red Wolves with the basketball. They trail your Lynx as Short now has it at the top of the key. Trying to drive, kick it back out to Smith. He's on the right wing. 13 seconds now on the shot clock as Silcott with it. Back to Smith. Smith guarded by Porter. He loses control of it. Has to save it from a backcourt violation. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Going to have to throw a deep three up. Trying to back it. Hit the backboard and bank it home. He cannot. Latham Jr. now with the pass to Tyler. Tyler to Porter and almost had an and one opportunity. So he was kind of pushed late there at the end, but he couldn't quite get it to go. Just a tad too strong as the foul goes on Garrett Silcott. And team's 5th, his 2nd, as that'll put Porter at the line for 2 shots. And Porter 2 for 2 in the first half from the free throw line. Instead, can't hit the first one right here, as he does have one more free throw coming. Isaiah Moore checked back in, I believe, with Nate Solstice. I couldn't quite tell what the other number was. It looks like 24 if it is. And it is. He gets the rebound right there. 0 for 2 from the line from Lajuan Porter. 63-54, 14 minutes remain. Moore with it now here for Indiana East. As Solstice now with it. Smith with it, trying to drive in, has it stripped away, but somehow finds Solstice, and he knocks it down as the Indiana Northwest can't get back down the floor. And Tyler with another baseball pass right to Tyrone Wright, and he lays it up and in over short. IU East not able to get back on the defensive side of things in transition, and the Lynx are just blowing past them right now, as we're going to have a foul going against Trayvon Tyler. That's going to be his 3rd, 2nd team here in the half. Just kind of holding call right there, as Martin, the 2nd, comes back in for Tyler. And IU East set to inbound on the sideline, as Smith throws it into short. 65-56 lead here for the Lynx. As Silcott faked the 3, took one step in, got his man to jump up about 30 feet in the air, and then knocks it home. 65-58, 13 minutes remain here. The Lynx have held every single run IU East has been on. We'll see if they can do it one more time. I know Coach Lepp talked about managing the last 8 to 10 minutes of this ball game. We'll see if they can do it right here. Martin now with it, thought about a 3, back to Crummell on the right wing. Crummell drives in, draws contact, and it will be in the act of shooting. We'll see who it's on, though, however. And it'll be on Bishop Smith, the All-American for IU East. So again, that'll put Crummell at the line. I'm just not going to say anything this time around, as it didn't matter. I didn't have to. I think just me saying that made him miss alone, as there's his first miss of the year from the free throw line. Was number 1 in the country in free throw percentages. Setting misses the first one right there so far. Lynx 0 for 3 in the last 3 free throw attempts. And the second one in and out as well. Cannot get the fall. 0 for 4 between Porter and Crummell from the free throw line. Stays a 65-58 lead for Lincoln. However, though, gives IU East a chance to come back in this ballgame. Silcott trying to drive in. There is contact. He was denied, though, by Tyrone Wright. And the foul is going to go on Porter. And I believe that should be... Well, they did tell me at halftime that the fouls were a little bit screwed up a little bit. They were going to have to kind of work on that. I thought he had 3. Instead, he's got 2. They haven't put it up yet on the scores table, but Porter either has 3 or 4 fouls. That definitely says 2, so I'm not going to say anything. Still made the first, gets a friendly roll on the second one. Excuse me, that was Silcott. And here comes that IU East pressure, full court press yet again. Crummell now with it. Remember, Tyler on the bench. Here comes the double team, and he goes it right to the official as Latham Jr. can't save it, and you can hear the crowd behind me starting to get back into this ball game. Here comes IU East, down by 5.
Hey, fire. Hey. Just 2. Hey, down.
And they will say it was in the front court. It's a 5-point lead here. The Lynx trying to hang on to this little IU East run. Remember, Blake Maris back into the ballgame as well as Smith cuts to the basket, runs baseline, puts it up and under, move on. And all of a sudden it's a 3-point game. 65-62, 12 minutes to play. You didn't think IU East was going to go away that easily. Again, these guys were one of the final 8 teams for a reason. Lynx going to have to prove it here in this one if they want the win bad enough. Martin to the right side corner here for Maris. Back to Martin. To the top of the key in Crumble. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. He wants a screen, doesn't get one. Moore almost pokes it away. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He's near midcourt. Crumble have to drive in. Puts up a floater. No. Trying to tip it back in, and he does. Montez Crumble, when all hope fails, goes right to the rack, throws up a prayer off the rim, puts it back on the tip in with Donald Lee, one of the biggest men out on the floor, and Coach Lepp wants to talk things over. It's a 30-second timeout. 67-62 lead here, 11:45 left to go, and what it was an 11-point lead, now back to 5. The Lynx have answered every test question that they can so far against IU East, and they are proving it here today. Going to have to hang on, though, in the next 11 and a half minutes or so. Again, remember, no Trayvon Tyler out on the floor, no Latwan Porter as well. It's all Montez Crumble out there so far in this contest. He's going to have to be the leader that he is very capable of being, as, again, Crumble's got 11 here so far. Also, one thing to mention, though, about this as well, Darnell Latham Jr., a junior. I mean, he was a transfer sophomore last season, but he knows Coach Lepp's system very well. He's out there as well, along with Tyrone Wright. Those three are going to have to lead the way here with Maris and Martin out on the floor as well. And a backdoor cut there from Solstice, and he slams it home. That kind of gave IU East a little bit of momentum right there. It's back to a 3-point game. Junior now going to run the point here for the Lynx. 67-64. Lead for the good guys in gold. Martin now with it at the top of the key. 15 on the shot clock. He drives in right side lane, goes right at Moore, and takes it to the rack and puts it up and in. 69-54. Both teams trading baskets left and right. Bishop with Moore. Takes a step back, makes a man miss, and Martin just got him on the way up, as that'll send Moore to the line for 2 shots. And the foul's going to go on Martin, his third. Team's fourth. Martin has 8 points here in this contest. And that's going to put Moore at the line. Moore, just a freshman out of Indianapolis who stands 5'9", went to Warren Central High School. He's going to be at the line for 2 opportunities. Knocks down the first one right there, make it 69-65. Just under 11 minutes to play. Lynx still lead. Moore does have one more free throw coming. And he knocks down both as well. Again, I do have to mention, it's a 3-point game, but the IU East has not led this entire game. The Lynx got on the board first and have stayed ahead the entire time they have the basketball under 11 to play. Still no Tyler and Porter, as Crumble now with it. 69-66, right with it on the left wing. Down low to Tyler, who just checked back into the ballgame. Tyler trying to back down his man. Silcott up and under move and cannot get the friendly roll into the hands of Trayvon Tyler. Gets his own miss. Turnaround right-hand hook. No, still too strong as it's pulled down by IU East and Solstice. Now to Smith. Over to Moore. Moore on the right wing. Thought about a 3 instead. Backs it out. He's guarded by Trayvon Tyler. Thought about driving in instead. Somehow lost control of it, but it finds Lee. He's trying to back down his man, and he backs down Crumble and lays it up and in. Looked like a traveling violation. No, he shuffled his feet, but they no calls. A lot of bodies were inside the paint. 69-68. It's a 1-point game now. Crumble over to Latham Jr. in the corner for 3, and he knocks it down. Darnell Latham Jr. from downtown gets his second 3 to go. Here comes Smith now trying to drive in. Left side lane, up and under move. No. Lee with an offensive rebound. And put back, no, but we're going to have a late foul called on Blake Maris. So that'll send Lee to the line. For 2 opportunities. They will say it was in the act of shooting. And that was Maris' second. Only Lynx player so far not on the scoreboard. As Lee's first free throw, good there. And Lee, last season, he played in the first 3 games and had a season-ending injury. There we go. Couldn't quite spit that one out. As he got only 3 games, had to redshirt, so he's back. You know he's rare to go. And this one, he knocks down a pair right there. All of a sudden, it's back to a 2-point lead. Lynx still hanging on. 72-70, 9.5 minutes to play. Latham Jr. now with it, guarded by Lee to the top of the key, and Crumble. Crumble gets a screen from right, goes to the left of it, now to Tyler. Tyler trying to drive baseline, he does, but backs it out to Wright, who thought about a 3 from the left side corner instead. Gonna try to drive it, has it poked away into the hands of Smith. Smith gets the turnover there, committed by the Lynx, and he'll pick up his dribble now at the top of the key to Lee. Lee thought about driving in, left side lane, has it poked away by Maris. Maris give and go with Tyler. A one-on-one fast break, he'll lay it up with the left hand and count it. Back to a 4-point lead here for the Lynx. That's exactly what the Lynx needed right there. A stop of their own, and they got one. Every time the IU East comes close to taking the lead, the Lynx have an answer. Silcott now to Lee, who gives him an elbow. We're going to have an offensive foul. Donald Lee trying to plead his case. However, though, it was clear as day. Kind of gave the Lynx defender a little bit of a push right there, and that'll be his third, team 7th. So after this, they will be in the bonus, as looks like Keaton Rombach checks back into the ballgame for IU East, and Crumble will set the inbound. And now Donald Lee just threw the chair out of there, and there's going to be a technical foul issued on Donald Lee on the bench. Kind of punched the chair. The chair fell a little bit, and the official on the other side of the court called the technical foul, and they will call it. And since he's on the bench, that should give the technical foul to the head coach as well, as Blake Maris gonna shoot the free throws. We'll have an explanation here. No real argument from either side, as again, frustration mounting here for Donald Lee and IU East, as Blake Maris going to shoot the technical free throws here for Lincoln. Hopefully that will get him on the board. He does, so every Lynx player that has played in this ball game has now scored, as Blake Maris knocks down a free throw. And Maris knocks down the second one as well. So now there will be a full reset as Blake Maris knocks down a pair. The Lynx will get the basketball back. They lead it now by 6, and that could be a huge momentum shifter here as the Lynx retake the lead by 6. Actually didn't give up the lead, but we saw that 20-point game in Graceland, Iowa, where they had a 20-point lead. It came down to 3, and then a technical foul was called on Graceland, and then all of a sudden, Lynx pulled away right after that. And now we have a foul on the floor going against Rombach. That was on the floor, though, however, but that's the team's 9th. So that'll put Tyler at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Tyler's got 13 so far here in this contest. Looking to make more of that. He does knock down the first one right there. Makes it back to a 7-point lead. And we talked about this all day. This was going to be a dogfight, ladies and gentlemen, and so far it has lived up to the hype. Every time the Lynx get back up by 8 or 9 or possibly 11, IU East answers with a run of their own. It's now back to 8, 78-70, as IU East trails, but they have the basketball. Moore thought about a 3, instead takes a jumper from the free throw line. No good. Wright pulls down the board for Lincoln. Outlets now to Crumble. Trouble and Tyler going to be the two in the backcourt to run this offense here, and we're down to the final 8 minutes. Mentioned about what Coach Leb said, managing the final 8 to 10 minutes. We'll see if the Lynx can pull it off here tonight. They have the lead so far. They lead by 8. Junior now trying to drive in and is met by, I believe, Rombach, and it looked like he lost control of it, but they're going to call a late foul on Rombach. That's going to be his 4th, and it's going to be a media timeout as we head to a quick break right here. The Lynx lead with some controversy going on here in Marion. 78-70. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Lincoln College basketball right after this.
Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln is proud to be a sponsor this season of Lincoln College men's and women's basketball on 89X and on LCTV. Thanks to their generous support, you'll never miss a single broadcast this season as the Lynx compete in NAIA action. Grau Chevrolet Buick has served the Lincoln and surrounding area with new and used vehicles, along with a complete service department since 1953. Grau is open Monday through Friday between 8 and 7, and on Saturdays 8 to 3. Grau Chevrolet Buick in Lincoln at 1905 North Kickapoo.
Welcome back to Marion, Indiana, home of Indiana Wesleyan University. Again, they have a lot of neat little things here that they do. We will see that in tomorrow's contest. Remember, the Facebook Live as well will come your way, and we'll show you that as well. But real quick here, ME Realty in Lincoln brings home home buyers and sellers together in Logan County and the surrounding area. ME Realty is now at a new location at 602 Keokuk in Lincoln. You can also reach them at 217-735-5424. That's 217-735-5424. You can also reach them directly online at SethSellsLincoln.com. That's SethSellsLincoln.com. You can also see all of their latest home listings at any time. ME Realty in Lincoln is proud to be involved in the Lincoln College community and is a proud sponsor of Lincoln College men's and women's basketball. Coming out of the media timeout right there as Darnell Latham Jr. was fouled by Rombach. He's at the line, does make his first. Has one more free throw coming. As the second one in as well. We did get an updated score stat sheet right here. Didn't get a chance to thank him because I was reading the live reads right there as he knocks down them both. It's back to a 10-point lead. Bishop Smith trying to go to work. He cannot as Tyrone Wright just rips it away from Rombach. And now we have another foul going against IU East as Tanner McFall got his hand in there, and that'll send Tyrone Wright now all the way back to the other side of the floor for 2 opportunities as that puts them in the double bonus. And IU East did not get back in time as Wright knocks down the first right there. And this is where the Lynx are going to make them break themselves right here. We saw them 0 for 4 at one point from the free throw line. Wright can't hit the second one. It's 11-point lead, though, however. They need a big defensive stop right here, and that might shift the ball game. 7.5 minutes remain. 81-70 as looks like Silcott with it, trying to hand it off to Bishop Smith, who normally has himself a pretty solid game so far. Only, I guess he does have 15 points as Silcott trying to drive in. He can't get it to go. Tyler with the rebound. Outlet now to Latham Jr. trying to drive in. Draws contact. And another foul is called on Bishop Smith. So that'll be his 4th. And team's 11th. That'll send Latham Jr. to the line. Jr. 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Make it 4 for 5. As he's got, I believe, now 22 in this contest. Junior having himself a pretty good night. And only 2 of 5 shooting from behind the arc. That's not typical of Darnell Latham Jr. You got to love that he's improving his game all around, really driving to the rack, trying to get inside the lanes, the passing lanes. He's 7 for 11 so far, 2 of 5 from the three-point line. And again, now 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Also putting in 4 boards as well, and along with 4 assists. So you got to like what Junior has done here tonight, really kind of making himself known after the first couple games. Didn't necessarily go his way, but you got to like that he's starting to get back on track. Lafayette now with it at the top of the key, hands it off to Moore. Moore trying to drive in, right side lane, kicks it to the corner for three in Garrett Silcott, and he knocks it down. Tyler now back to Latham Jr. Trying to go right at him yet again, and he lays it up and in one more time. Darnell Latham Jr., have yourself a game, young man. He's got 25. As now Bryce Long wants to take a three, no good. Rebounded by Tyrone Wright, and it's one and done yet again for IU East. 6.5 minutes remain, 85-73. Darnell Latham Jr. with a hot hand takes a step back three from the corner, and you know it. Darnell Latham Jr. heating up here in the second half as he wants this upset as bad as everybody else. And now a timeout taken by Mark Hester, and Lincoln is going nuts out on the floor. And the official saying they can't come greet him just yet. However, though, it's not going to matter. That's not going to cool off Darnell Latham Jr. 88-73. He's got 28 here in the ball game. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Right after this, you're listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
M.E. Realty in Lincoln brings home buyers and sellers together in Logan County and the surrounding area. M.E. Realty is now at a new location at 602 Keokuk in Lincoln. You can also reach them at 217-735-5424. That's 217-735-5424. You can also reach them directly online at SethSellsLincoln.com. That's SethSellsLincoln.com. You can see all of their latest home listings at any time. M.E. Realty in Lincoln is proud to be involved in the Lincoln community and is a proud supporter of Lincoln College men's and women's basketball.
Welcome back to Marion, Indiana, where your Lynx have put on a show here today as Latham Jr. leading the way right here with 28 points in this ball game, but Trayvon Tyler not too far behind. Both of them giving Knuckles right here to myself. I believe they're going to give Knuckles to everybody back home listening as well. It's a 30-point watch here for number 12 and Darnell Latham Jr., but it is IU East basketball coming out of the 30-second timeout. Blake Maris also into the ballgame as well, as that was Silcott who tried to put the shot up driving in left side lane, but they will have a foul on the putback as Nate Solstice got the offensive rebound. I believe the foul goes on Montez Crumble. His second, only the team's sixth here in this second half. The Lynx playing very disciplined on the defensive side of things. 88-73. And we talked about where we thought Lincoln's second half, that was really what the test was going to be. We were going to see if they could show it here, because the first couple games, the second half was a little iffy for these guys, but not tonight. They have simply put an exclamation point on this ball game as Darnell Latham Jr. tried to drive in right side lane, couldn't get it to go, and then an over and back called, I believe, on Tyrone Wright. They will say push in the back, close enough, and that'll be his second, team's seventh. So we'll walk all the way down the floor and have a one-on-one opportunity for Lafayette.
Hey, watch over.
And one-on-one opportunity coming, and he knocks it down. But do have to mention right now Bryce Long in that ball, or is in the lineup here so far on the court for IU East, and I wanted to get to his high school state championship game because they were a very good team. However, he does make them both. But one thing I mentioned, they had a 19-point lead with a minute and a half to go in that state championship game against last year's state champs, and somehow, some way, only won by 3 after 2 free throws. The team went on an 18-0 run in 71 seconds. When have you ever heard of such a thing like that? 18-0 run in 71 seconds. They barely hung on to win the state title in Kentucky. I just thought that was kind of interesting and a neat fact there as Crumble tries to take a 3, no good. 88-76, 5.5 minutes to go here. Moore trying to take a long 3. He knocks it through. 88-79 now. 5 minutes remain. Tyler now going to bring it up the floor. Tyler, guarded by Silcott. Trying to drive in, goes left side of him, puts it up off the glass, and just a tad too strong, no call, as here comes IU East back the other way with the rebound. Moore now with it, trying to drive in, puts one up off the glass, and it's going to be a push-off on Moore, and try to create some space, and it's going to give the ball right back to the Lynx. So just when you thought Indiana East was going to have herself just a little bit of a moment right there, a foul takes care of that, and as Latwan Porter checks back in for Blake Maris. And that was Moore's second. And team's probably 12th as they inbound it to Crumble. Now to Junior. Junior now with it. Kicks it to the corner, right side corner, and Porter. Porter trying to drive in, puts it up with the left hand and gets it to go. 90-79 now here for the Lynx. They lead it with 4:30 to go. I wouldn't count IU East out just yet as Moore from downtown. Count the basket and the foul as Isaiah Moore from the parking lot knocked down the three. Porter gave him a little bump, and he's going to go to the line for an and one opportunity. Could possibly be a 4-point play here for IU East. And that's Porter's fourth, so they did finally figure it out. Team's eighth, and he just checked back into this ball game. But I mentioned, and Rombach and Silcott both come back into the ball game for IU East as well. Potentially a 4-point play right here for the Red Wolves, and still not out of it yet. As that one rattles in and out and pulled down by Trayvon Tyler. 90-82. 4.5 to play. IU East still hanging in there. Again, they're not ranked 14th in the country for no reason. Lynx trying to get ranked at the end of the month if they can get a couple wins here this weekend. Looking good so far. Crumble now with it to the top of the key in Latham Jr. 9 seconds on the shot clock. He thought about driving in, takes a step back jumper, and you know it. Darnell Latham Jr., have yourself a ball game, sir. He's got 30 here tonight, leading the way for the Lynx. Here in this one, we're going to have another 30-second timeout. We're going to stay right here, though. However, 4 minutes remain. It's a 10-point lead for the Lynx. And I must say, every time this game becomes a 10-point lead, 11-point lead, IU East has something up their sleeve where they're going to crawl their way somehow back into this one. Right on cue, when I talked about it earlier, Isaiah Moore, a 3-point or almost a 4-point play, couldn't capitalize on it. It was right in front of us right as we were getting ready to talk about it. The one key thing, though, right here in this one is, and all the starters out on the floor for the Lynx, and you know they're going to try to capitalize here in the next 4 minutes. So, like we mentioned, Coach Lepp, we talked about it. The first 4 minutes of the 8 minutes have gone really well for the Lynx. We'll see if they can hang on to the last four because IU East has not gone away. They have kept punching the Lynx right in the mouth, but the Lynx have kept responding. Here in this one, we'll see if they can respond in the next 4 minutes and maintain this 10-point lead. 92-82, Smith drives in left side lane, can't get it to go. Into the hands of Latham Jr. Trayvon Tyler put his hands up and said, hey, slow the pace down a little bit, use as much shot clock as you can. As Tyrone Wright looks to be a little bit winded here on this one, holding his left knee. He does have a brace on it. Hopefully he is okay. They find Porter in the right side corner for three, and you know it. Porter knocks down a three right there, and it's back to a 13-point lead. I believe the largest lead here for the Lynx in the entire ball game. 95-82 as Moore with it for the Red Wolves. To Silcott now. To Solstice. It's almost batted out of bounds. No, saved by Porter. Into the hands of Tyler. It's a 3-on-2 fast break. They find Junior in the left side corner. You know he's going to take a three, and no, couldn't get that one to go. Wouldn't that have been something if Junior could have knocked down that one? As now we have a kick ball violation right there on Junior. As the IU East will inbound underneath, or right in front of us right here. As, again, what a great night performance-wise from this Lynx team. 95 points, and they still got 3 minutes to play. I've not seen a Lynx team score like this in a long time. They inbound it to Rombach, to Smith. Smith trying to drive in, left side lane, kicks it out to Moore. Moore this time from downtown, he knocks it through yet again. Junior did not want to foul him, and good thing he didn't. He knocked it through. 95-85, 10-point lead, as Moore's got 20 here for IU East. Tyler now with it. He's trying to drive in. Give and go with Porter, who's driving baseline. He's denied, though, by Silcott, but Tyler gets it right back. 15 on the shot clock now, trying to back down Rombach to Porter in the right side corner. He drives in, draws contact, and they will say it was on the floor. However, though, it's in the double bonus, so that'll send Porter to the line as it goes on Solstice. So that'll be his second. And about that'll send Porter yet again to the line. Porter's missed a couple already here. Knocks down first one right here again, leading the way though. I mean, he's got 19. He hits one more, he'll have 20 on the night. And no match for Darnell Latham Jr., who's got 30. Tyler's got 15, and Crumble has 11. And if Tyrone Wright could possibly get one more point, he's got 9. All 5 starters for the Lynx will be in double figures. As Moore with it now, he's double teamed right here in front of us on the right wing, trying to get it down low to McFall, who just puts it up and in. The Lynx do not want to foul. As Tyler thought about another baseball pass, Tyrone Wright still out on the floor, looks to be okay, maybe just a possible cramp of some sort. To Latham Jr., who's wide open in the corner for 3, instead drives baseline, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go, gets his own miss, put back is in. Junior now has 32 here on the night, and that's exactly what I wanted to see out of Darnell Latham Jr. as Isaiah Moore trying to keep IU East in the ball game right there as he knocks down another 3 for his 23rd point here in this one. Again, though, let's talk about Darnell Latham Jr. here real quick. I mean, it's still a 9-point game. Still anything is possible. 99-90, but Darnell Latham Jr. 32 here tonight. I mean, I've seen this kid last year. I talked about it many times where this kid will have, I'm trying to think, it was the Missouri S&T game. He shot like 6 for 8 from the three-point line, had 20 or 22 in the first half, and then finished with 25. Just couldn't put 2 halves together. I mean, the whole team probably couldn't put 2 halves together this year, but Trayvon Tyler and Darnell Latham Jr. doing what they need to do here in this second half, especially Darnell Latham Jr. to get the job done against a very good and a very talented 14th-ranked IU East, the Red Wolves, out of Richmond, Indiana. But this is exactly what I wanted to see. I've been high praise on Darnell Latham Jr. for a long time. I'm wanting to see this coming for a while, and he just really hasn't done it. He's put it in one half and kind of done okay, thank you, in the second half. But tonight, a different story, a different Darnell Latham Jr. as he's got 32, and there's still a minute 49 to go. Possibly could see him add to that down the stretch. I just got the updates here. 11 for 18 is Darnell Latham Jr. shooting 3 of 7 from behind the arc, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. He's got 6 rebounds and 5 assists. I believe that was Trayvon Tyler who just laid it up and in right there as I was reading that stat. He's now got 17. It's back to an 11-point lead as that one's loose on the floor into the hands of Montez Crumble. Minute 30 to go. 11-point lead here for the Lynx as they're trying to double-team Tyler, but he gets through contact, finds Porter, and the Lynx going to try to run out this clock as much as they can. Porter with it now. 15 on the shot clock. Porter trying to drive in. Left side lane. Lobs to right. Gets it right back. Puts it up and in. And there it is. He's now got 11. And every starter for the Lynx in double figures here tonight. Moore now with it. 103 points for the Lynx as that one's blocked by Porter. But they will say it was a foul. So that'll put, I believe that if that is on Porter, that'll be his fifth foul, but a great night for him as well. He finishes with 20 points on the night, 7 of 16 shooting from the field, 1 of 4 from behind the arc, 5 of 7 from the free throw line. He pulled down 2 boards, did have 1 assist and 1 steal. And Moore at the free throw line, though, however, cannot hit his first one. He's really been the kind of go-to guy for this IU East team so far. I mean, Bishop Smith is still their key man, but on the scoreboard, it's more, but he can't hit either one as the ball's loose on the floor. Ball's poked away. Tyler did not want to foul as it goes in the hands of Bishop Smith, and he'll just lay it up and in. Maybe he heard me talking there during that free throw as Tyler now with it. Finds Blake Maris, who just checked into the ballgame, to Tyrone Wright. Wright thought about a three as we're under a minute to play. Shot clock and game clock separated by about 20 or so seconds. As Wright now trying to drive in, kicks it right, or throws it right into the hands of IU Easton McFall. They got a 3-on-2 fast break. Smith with it now, and he'll just lay it up and in. Maris did not want to foul, and they're going to have a 30-second timeout right here in this one. As it's 103-94, still not out of it just yet. And you can hear all the fans behind me not happy in this one, but I'm sure everybody back home in Lincoln, Illinois, you guys are having yourselves a ball. This is a Lynx team that we didn't quite know what we were going to see out of them this year. They kind of lost Julian Powell. They lost J.J. Turner. They lost a few of their key starters. L.J. Johnson was a big part of that. And you just didn't know. We didn't know what they were. They were preseason ranked 14th to finish 14th, but they weren't actually ranked going into the season. Taking on the 14th ranked Red Wolves here in this one, and so far they are looking real good. We thought the size was going to get to them a little bit. However, though, it has not phased this Lynx team whatsoever as they have to inbound the ball. The shot clock is turned off, 25 seconds left as they not trying to foul, but trying to trap Darnell Latham Jr. They could not as the Lynx get it back across half court, and that should be it here. 103-94 as the State Bank of Lincoln is Lincoln's oldest bank. In fact, its home location at 508 Broadway dates back over 100 years. That's 100 years of providing Lincoln in the surrounding areas, residents and business with banking service, including savings and checking accounts. They also provide personal, business, and agricultural loans and retirement planning. The State Bank of Lincoln's Woodlawn branch opens mornings at 7:30. You can also find them at Walmart in Lincoln and with 2 locations in Clinton, Illinois. The State Bank of Lincoln since 1903, assisting and strengthening both individuals and the local community. And with that being said, 103-94 is your final as they just ran out the clock right here. An upset alert as Lincoln took down one of 2 teams they needed to play here in this contest. I mentioned 103-94 is the final. What a heck of a game from both sides of things. Little chippy at mid court, but mostly on IU East. Again, they're just a little bit disappointed in their first game of the season. Did not go as planned. Again, but however, though, 103-94 was the final here in this one. You got to like what you saw out of this Lynx team. We'll have the stats in just a few moments because I want to see what's kind of going on here in this one. But we all know Darnell Latham Jr., the star of the show here tonight. 32 points on the night. And like I mentioned, that was a kid that you've been wanting to see kind of just take off, skyrocket, and finally in the 3rd game of the season after 2 really not so good games for Darnell Latham, he gets the job done and comes through in such a huge way. I gotta give my props to the man right there. He's been working hard at it every day in the gym, and he finally pulls it through. We needed every bit of 32 from him tonight to beat and upset the number 14th ranked IU East Red Wolves in the nation. 103-94 was the final in that. Again, right behind him, though, was Latwan Porter with 20, followed by Trayvon Tyler. He had 17. And then Montez Crummell and Tyrone Wright both with 11. I mentioned all starters in double figures here tonight, along with Winslow having 8 coming off the bench. So got to love what you see from the scoring here. This is a very deep scoring team for the Lynx, a very good defensive team as well. They can get the job done. Only 8 turnovers so far here tonight by the Lynx, a much better improvement. And on the glass, again, they still got out-rebounded, but it's very close. 40-34 was the rebounding total in that one. If the Lynx want to win tomorrow night, they're going to have to do this again because they're going to take on an even tougher Indiana Wesleyan team who's hosting. And I mentioned Tune into the Facebook Live tomorrow. You'll see the craziness of the atmosphere here in this one. Thank you so much. There's the final stats for us here in this one. And the one thing I do want to mention before we get off the air right here, 19 assists from that Lynx team here tonight, sharing the basketball. You can see what they're capable of when they decide to play like that. If they cannot, you saw what happened in Belleville where they squeaked by. However, though, if they can build confidence off this game right here, going into tomorrow, taking on the number 4th ranked team in the country, it'll be a good one if we can come back home with 2 upsets. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, that game will be against Indiana Wesleyan, the number 4 ranked team in the country. They are 4-1 after a big win tonight against Union University, who was ranked 17th in the country. They're out of Kentucky. That game will be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central Time back in Lincoln, Illinois. So make sure you tune in for that. iHeartRadio, type in WLNX in the search bar. Again, if you're in the Lincoln area, 88.9 FM.
Lincoln College basketball on 89X has been made possible by Grouse Chevrolet Buick, ME Realty, and by the State Bank of Lincoln.